Welcome to AG's Ace. Things change very quickly in sport, particularly in cricket. From Gabba to Chennai, a lot has changed, and the heat is truly on skipper Virat Kohli. We know that. He's also sensing it, he's feeling it. If you look at it closely, Virat's captaincy is under scrutiny once again, as India lost against England by a massive margin of 227 runs in the first of the four Test series. This defeat was the fourth consecutive defeat in Test cricket under his captaincy. Before this, as we all know, Ajinkya Rahane was lauded for his leadership qualities following India's brilliant win in Australia, not only winning the series, but coming back from the huge debacle of getting out for just 36 runs at Adelaide. All that is history now. Let's take a quick look at Virat Kohli's uh, record. Now, in India's last four tests under Virat Kohli, all four test matches were lost. The first one by 10 wickets against New Zealand. It was an away match. Lost by 7 wickets against New Zealand, again an away match. Lost by 8 wickets against Australia, again in an away match. And by a massive margin of 227 runs against England just now in Chennai. So some comments are coming in. I'd like to share that with you. First, of course, is one of my favorite commentators and a brilliant cricket mind, Nasir Hussain, former England captain, who recently said he is not a big fan of Virat Kohli. And I quote him, "In general, Root has been exceptional. It is India's skipper Kohli who has been caught between two stools. I'm not a massive fan of him as a tactician because he tends to follow the ball and be a bit behind play at times rather than dictating it." This is a very important point coming from a former skipper himself, because they know about strategy, they know about tactics, and they know about how you set up a session, how you set up a play, and particularly when a couple of wickets either are falling or you are up against a very formidable side, and like they are against England. So what are your tactics? What are you going to do? What is the kind of field setting that you're going to do? And Nasir doesn't mince words by saying that he feels that Virat is always a little behind play. He mentions about Ajinkya Rahane, and he says he did so well debutizing in Australia. He has perhaps been a bit reluctant to be as much in your face as in the past. Maybe it was the back of his mind to be a bit more smiley and allow his team freedom of expression. It was noticeable, though, when Rory Burns was out to the first ball of England's second innings, that the old animated Kohli was back. That, to me, is his strength as a captain. So what Nasir Hussain is sending a message to Virat Kohli is that don't try and be the sweet guy, because you're not. You are aggressive, ultra aggressive, and on the field, you're like a tiger. Don't back off, even if you're in face, whether it's your own teammates or against the opposition. It should be the way it is, and people should accept Virat for the way he is, because even a man like Ashwin said that Rahane is different. He's more quiet, and particularly Virat is very in your face. So be it. Sanjay Manjrekar, he compared Virat Kohli's captaincy to Sir Vivian Richards, and he made a specific comment that tactically people have issues with his captaincy, but this is where Virat Kohli is like Vivian Richards, where they are always hopeful. And when a captain believes that you can still make a match out of this one from the current situation, that is a good thing. So that's a plus point in his favor. Nick Knight, former England cricketer, made a point while commentating that Virat Kohli coming back into the side and a change of captaincy, I think what he's done for the side has been immense. The fighting spirit, the character that's been brought into the team unit. But he'll come back and he'll be desperate to make his own point with the bat and the captaincy as well. Gautam Gambhir, who has criticized Virat in the past for his T20 captaincy, said, of course, this was before the England series, that I've always had question marks over his T20 captaincy, but I never had question marks on his 50-over or test match captaincy. India has done very well under his leadership in red ball cricket. Former Aussie spinner Brad Hogg believes removing Virat Kohli from test captaincy would destroy the culture of the Indian team. Massive compliment coming for Virat from an old enemy. And those are the best compliments. So he says Virat Kohli bats better when he's the captain. I think if you change it, it would destroy the culture of the Indian team. It might affect Kohli's batting. He wouldn't want it to happen, but it will happen. Yes, Ajinkya Rahane has done a fantastic job in the last 3 tests in Australia. He's cool, calm and collected. He's quite decisive and he doesn't get agitated. But I leave him as vice captain because I think Virat Kohli leads from the front. So that sort of encapsulates the character of Virat. My take towards the end would be, Virat needs to think a little more about getting the team selection right. The World Cup fiasco with Ambati Rayudu still haunts a lot of people, including me. Uh, Whether he should have played Kuldeep Yadav here or not, again, is a question mark. Ashwin said he's very in your face. Well, can Virat tone it down? That's up to him. Needs to slightly balance his aggression. His anger is palpable as he's yet to win a major World Cup title, and with the T20 coming up, and later on the ODI World Cup, those things are pretty important. And unless he gets some trophy on his mantle, he could be in trouble. He is also angry over percentage points of the World Test Championships. India places fourth there, and who changed the percentage points the ratings? It was none other than former coach Anil Kumble, and it's very well known that Virat Kohli and Anil Kumble don't get along. Is there an equation somewhere there? That's for you to decide. But towards the end, I will say that let's hand it to him that an unprepared Virat Kohli took over from the great MS Dhoni, who couldn't take any more of the pressure. Suddenly, midway of a tour, he just lets go of the captaincy. And Virat, a young Virat, who said he cried that night in his hotel room and he took charge. He did a pretty fantastic job up to a point. Yes, every captain has his pluses and minuses. Every captain is up to criticism. And like the great Sunil Gavaskar said, that if something goes wrong, who is the first scapegoat? It's always the captain. But Virat needs to get a few nuts and bolts right, and he'll probably get there. Thanks for watching.